Hi, CistReactZ. How you doing? Did you know that 70% of you guys are not subscribed? Also, did you know that I am living in those 70% walls right now, and if you want me to stop, you'll hit that subscribe button? What is up, you awesome kisters? It is CistReactZ, guys. Today we're reacting to how FNAF 4 Works, a comprehensive AI breakdown. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to ItzTaken, and comment down below, and let's get into this bop.
Works and sounds.
Oops.
In this video, I'll be breaking down exactly how every animatronic and mechanic works and sounds.
This will be interesting.
You have concerning its mechanics should be
The
answered
work
by
behind
the end
Scott's
of this video and
games.
more, because there's definitely a thing or two you didn't know about this game. And if it isn't, throw it over to the comment section. Obviously, this is going to massively spoil the gameplay, so if you haven't played it and want to,
This will spoil shit you've been warned.
when you've forgotten it all.
Can we make
But
spoiler
regardless,
warnings look
let's
like
go
that
over the
now?
basics. The gameplay consists of you in a bedroom fighting off the Nightmare animatronics. You've got Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Chica coming down the halls on your left and right. You close the door when you hear them breathing and flash the light to scare them away if they're not right outside your door. Then you have Nightmare Foxy,
Or you'll have like a
who also
nuke in your
roams the
ear.
halls and
You
gets
get
into
jump
your pocket
scared.
if you're not careful. Closing the closet keeps them at bay.
Really
And
loud jump
finally, for
scares.
the main knights, you have Freddy, whose frettles slowly pile up behind you, requiring you to flash your light to scatter them. Okay, but what does the house look like? It's split into a few main areas: the living room, the kitchen, the left and right halls, the bed, and the closet. Animatronics move between these areas with movement opportunities that occur at some interval. For these two, it's a 5-second interval. A lot of things are based on intervals in this game, mostly determining when the animatronics will move, including from a door. They're called movement opportunities because they only have a certain chance to move, determined by their AI level, which obviously increases as you get further into the game. Now, unlike some other games in the series, every animatronic is pretty unique, so I'll be explaining each in sections. Starting us off, we have Bonnie and Chica. They both start out in the center of the living room with an opportunity to move every 5 seconds. They will, however, always fail this opportunity if you're listening to their respective door, if you cleared one of them from the door and you still have it shut, or if you closed the door on one of them while they were in the far hall, but not by the door. From the center, they will move to their respective sides, Bonnie to the left of the living room, Chica to the right. Then Bonnie will either move to the far left hall or back to the center, and Chica will either move to the far right hall.
Every 5 seconds really makes it... Knowing that it's like every 5 seconds, it now makes me feel more terrified of these games. Like, I wonder how it works for FNAF 1. Are you just like sitting there and every 5 seconds they just move? Like, I mean, it feels like that, so...
Pots playing,
now that I think about it... Now that somebody's actually put it down for me, it actually does feel like they move every 5 seconds.
Interestingly, none of the animatronics will enter the hall if you have the flashlight on in it, waiting until it's off. But that's not actually the interesting part. The interesting part is that they'll continue to update their intended destination every second, and if it changes, which they have a 50% chance to do so here, they'll instantly move to the other destination instead. As well, all movements around this area will have a soft walking sound, something like this.
Oh god.
Walking sounds do vary in volume and
sounds like someone walking on snow.
On where you are in the room and which side it's coming from, so use that to your advantage. Anyways, at the far hall, on their next movement, they will move to your door. At this point, they can still move back to the far hall, but we'll wait until it's a 10-second interval. Any movements around this area will have a louder walk sound like this. When they've been at your door for 20 minus the night number cumulative seconds, which resets when they're cleared, they will jump scare you the next time you view the bed. Now, how do we deal with them? Well, if they're in the far hall, flashing the light will cause them to retreat to the center living room. Otherwise, if they're by your door and you flash the light, well, you know.
It is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
Played the Markiplier clip.
Yeah, not what
I mean,
you
first
want to
light's
do.
usually not that
Instead,
bad.
You need to check for breathing, which will be something
Legendary.
like this. And closing the door while they're near will cause them to retreat to their side of the living room at the next 3-second interval. However, closing the door while they're at the far hall will actually bring them to your door, but the door won't be able to clear them until you open the door and reclose it. Also, on nights 2 to 4, they will have a certain time at which they'll be forced to your door the next time you're in the middle of the room. For Bonnie, that's a random hour from 2 to 5 AM, and for Chica, it's 3 to 5 AM. Finally, here's the AI chart for every night out of 20. It's good to note they also get a decent bit more active as the night goes on, which is the source of the only difference in
Dang,
AI
on night
levels
2 they're already
between
on like
Bonnie and
5.
Chica in the whole game. On night 1 at 2 a.m. they'll both increase by 1, but at 3 a.m. Chica will only increase by 1, while Bonnie increases by 2.
Oh.
That's literally the only difference ever.
Jesus.
Alright, so that's Bonnie and Chica done with. Next is Foxy.
Why that transition?
He also starts out in the living room with an opportunity
Jesus
to move
Christ.
every 5 seconds.
Can I watch that one more time? That was cinematic gold. Like, just for no reason, they just get nuked. Like, all right. No, that's probably gonna be my favorite transition ever all year.
With an opportunity to move every 5 seconds. However, he doesn't have a side, and from there can move to either side of the living room. Then, he has a 90% chance to move to the opposite side, and a 10% chance to move to that side's far hall. Him moving to the right hall sounds like this. And moving to the left hall sounds like this.
Oh!
The only way
Wait, I'm so stupid. Why did I never consider, like, until hearing this video, that that's actually Foxy doing that running sound? Bro.
Deal with him is shining the flashlight on the hall he's in, though be careful that Bonnie or Chica aren't also with you. If he's in the hall and you go to the
Actually, you know what? I've said this plenty of times on YouTube before, but I had a secret tactic for playing FNAF 4 when I used to record it on my old channel. Or just, like, ever. The way I play FNAF 4 is I keep all my audio muted until I run up to the door and, like, turn up the audio and listen for the breathing, and if I don't hear the breathing, I just turn my audio down and just go back to the center of the room. So essentially, I play FNAF 4 like a coward.
Side door,
That's probably why I never considered the running sound.
This is
I
where
hate
his
that
gameplay
fox.
shifts. He starts with 3 to 7 progress, so when he gets in, I'd highly recommend dealing with it. Now that he's in your room, his movement opportunities instead progress as attack stages. Your task now is to close the closet door. Every second you have it closed, his progress is decreased by 1. Visually, he's a plush at 0 or 1 progress, standing up at 2 or 3
Bro
progress,
regressed to plushie.
crouching at 4 or 5 progress, and peeking out after 6 progress. When he reaches 10, he'll jump scare you after you run back from a door or turn away from the bed. He'll also be force spawned after looking at the bed for 15 seconds without running somewhere.
What?
Finally, here's the AI chart for every night out of 10.
Wait, say that again?
Spawned after looking at the bed for 15 seconds without running somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Finally, here's the AI chart for every night out of 10.
Thought he said something
He
different.
also usually gets a bit more active as the night goes on. At 3 a.m., these are his AI levels. Even though by 10 AI he will always move, his AI still goes above 10 on nights 7 and 8, whether that be because it changed mid-development or he just didn't notice. And on to our final antagonist for the main nights, Nightmare Freddy.
What are these transitions,
just
man?
a looming danger from the bed behind you. Every 4 seconds, he'll add his AI level to his progress.
Jeez.
These are the levels, which are
Freddy demands
static
attention.
except for the first 2 nights, where it increases at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. He'll also progress 5 times a second on nights 2 and later if you haven't run in 30 seconds.
5 times a second is
You can visually see
crazy.
his progress by the number of frettles on your bed, 1 for every 10 progress up to 3 frettles. You can also audibly hear this progress by the volume of the frettles' incessant screeching, at a volume of 1 after 20 progress and a volume of 2 after 30 progress. Once he's reached 60 progress, the next time you shine the light on the bed, or at 3-second intervals while you're looking at the bed without shining for some reason, he'll jump scare you. He will also unavoidably jump scare you when reaching 80 progress. Simply using your flashlight on the bed will decrease that progress every 50 milliseconds or 20 times a second. Now you might have noticed a bit of a discrepancy. A 5th night has been conspicuously left out of the conversation this whole time. It's 5 Nights at Freddy's, right? Well, that's because we have one last animatronic left. Or 2, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, who functions the same. Replacing every other animatronic when they appear, they're this game's final boss. Nightmare Fredbear appears for the full night 5 and at 4 a.m. on night 6, while Nightmare replaces the animatronics at 4 a.m. on nights 7 and 8. Starting out in the living room center, Fredbear has a movement opportunity every 3 seconds, while Nightmare has one every 2 seconds. They'll then move to either side of the living room, and from there, either move silently
No
to
wonder
the
why they
hall,
feel
or move to
fast.
the other side of the living room, making this noise to the right, and this noise to the left.
My
From
God.
the hall, they will jump scare you
Brody
after
is
15
booking it.
seconds on nights 5 and 6, 10 seconds on night 7,
booked
and
it to
8
that
seconds
room,
on
bro.
night 8. If they're in the hall, flashing the light will cause them to approach, and keeping it on will result in a quick game over. Closing the door will force them to retreat to the opposite side of the living room at the next 3-second interval. However, there is another place
Man, got
they'll
into action
appear.
immediately.
If they've been on a side of the hall for 10 seconds, and you go to the opposite side door, he'll silently teleport to either the bed or closet. Additionally, their movement checks use a number that changes every second, either 1 or 2.
Destination
And if it's a
RNG.
specific number for a cumulative 30 seconds,
Laugh
or 20 for
timers.
Nightmare, they'll laugh and teleport to either the bed or closet. They can do this up to 4 times on night 5, but only 2 times otherwise. But beware, every 10 seconds they aren't on the bed, they have a 10% chance of doing a fake laugh. From the bed or closet, Fredbear will kill you after 20 seconds, when Nightmare only takes 11. Though Fredbear's 20 seconds is a little misleading because you get jump scared if you return to the center after only 10 seconds. When on the bed, you need to flash the light and they'll leave after 2 1-second intervals, moving to a random side of the
God,
living
what does
room.
Nightmare make
For the
loud
closet,
noises?
They'll leave at the next 3-second interval, also moving to a random side of the living room. And the final piece of info, he'll just jump scare you if you haven't run in 15 seconds. And that's it for the animatronics. Well, I lied to you, there's one last one. I've still got
Scott
plush
just
traps.
kicks you out the game.
But before we get to that, there's still a couple more things to know
Why is the light
about the main
flickering? What are the
gameplay.
challenges?
First up, the flashlight flickering isn't random. It's actually connected to how much danger you're in. You gain 1 danger from Bonnie or Chica in the
Mine
far
was
hall
flashing all
and
the
2 from
time.
near the door. You gain 2 danger if Foxy's in your room, and you have 1 danger from Freddy if he's progressed to 20, 3 after 30, and 5 after 50 progress. Starting at 2 danger, as your danger increases, the lights will more noticeably and be more likely to dim. Oh, and while this game doesn't have a custom night, it does have challenges if you want to obtain all 10 stars. These challenges are Blind Mode, which just makes your screen blank, Insta Foxy, which makes you start with Foxy in the closet,
My brain couldn't take
with
blind
30% of
mode.
progress he normally starts with, Mad Freddy, which replaces the 4-second interval adding AI with 2-second intervals adding 5, effectively 10 AI,
Yeah, my brain couldn't take
and
this.
All Nightmare, which forces you to deal with 20-20-20 mode's Nightmare for the whole 6 hours.
Hell
Fredbear
no.
or Nightmare won't actually move for the first 20 seconds, but make sure you move because they'll still get you after 15 seconds. And for our final AI breakdown, we have Plush Trap and his entirely separate minigame.
And Balloon Boy, I guess. I seen that.
Shorter amount of time to lure Plush Trap onto the X in front of you in the hopes of skipping 2 hours of the first 5 nights, or 1 hour on any night if you're playing fun with Nightmare Balloon Boy. Plush Trap's aggression starts at 0, increasing by 1 every frame the light isn't on, along with an additional aggressiveness bonus every frame, which is randomized from 0 to 2 whenever he moves. Every 2 seconds, Plush Trap has the opportunity to move if he's aggressive enough, checking if it's higher than a random number from 400 to 499. When moving, his aggression resets to 200, but flashing the light resets his aggression entirely. Plush Trap has a few stages. Starting from the chair, he'll move to getting off the chair, playing this sound. Flashing the light at this point will reset him back to the chair. From there, he'll either move to the far left or right door, playing this sound to the left, and this sound to the right. He can then move to the middle of the hall, playing this sound.
Yeah, I didn't know you could ever hear him running. I just mute.
To the close left or right door, playing the same sounds as before. Finally, he will move to the X, playing this sound.
Well, shit is so
But
fast.
he's guaranteed the next movement, so if you're not quick, he will get you the next time you flash the light. As for Nightmare Balloon Boy, it's largely the same. His aggressiveness is higher, randomized from 0 to 4 instead of 0 to 2. And every 2 seconds, he has a third chance
Brody
to play
really
a
says
sound
hi
effect,
when he
guaranteed
goes
when
off
he
to the
moves
left.
the X. He also only gives you half a second when reaching the X instead of 2 with Plush Trap.
Uh-oh.
And that's it. That's every mechanic from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. everything.
That's
As
interesting.
always, if you had any questions about a detail I didn't elaborate on or that I just missed.
Oh, and they also did a video on FNAF 2's unseen mechanic. Y'all know I love FNAF 2, so I'm definitely gonna watch that. Maybe tomorrow. So if you guys want more, it's taken on the channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe for more to become a Kister today. It was pretty interesting learning about how FNAF's how FNAF 4's inner workings work.